Please come, Ishami. Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Please sit down.
Thank you, sir.
So, am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Yes,
Ishami?
Sir. Eshani, sir.
Eshani. All right. Eshani. So, Eshani, please introduce yourself to the panel.
I'm Eshani. I have completed my computer science engineering in 2019. I currently live in Chennai. And since then, I have been preparing for civil services. And apart from studying, I also take part in Rubik's Cube and other interests of mine. Thank you.
Okay, so, Ishani, you are from Tamil Nadu.
Yes, sir.
Tamil Nadu is one of the strongest economies state of India. Any particular reason?
So they have invested quite a lot in social justice along with industrialization, sir, which is why today they are around 50% urbanized, Tamil Nadu, and has a very wide manufacturing base along with equitable growth to vulnerable sections and women alike, sir. So I think the policies of the government have reaped benefits today.
So as you said, urbanized, it is one of the most urbanized states, right? So do you think that the level of urbanization that we have today, Chennai is almost, Tamil Nadu is almost 60 to 70% more. So should entire India come to the level of 60-61% urbanization in the interest of overall development like Tamil Nadu has developed? Can this be a model for urbanization for the whole country?
So the major reasons as to the urbanization is because there was high dependence on non-farm sectors, which is why they invested more in automobile and IT services. So Tamil Nadu's policy of using the resources it has, the people and the assets can be a model, sir. Specificities and localized development is left to the states to reap their benefits. But one thing that we can take from this model is that the spatial differences have been reduced in Tamil Nadu, sir. That way we can have rewards.
You are Bachelor of Engineering in Computer Science.
Yes, sir.
Right? Now, Eshani, you are the District Magistrate of Coimbatore, right? And you find that there is a great digital divide between urban Coimbatore and rural Coimbatore. So what steps are you going to take to see that this digital divide is bridged? Both in terms of training, in terms of hardware, in terms of software, in terms of connectivity?
So first step for me would be to ascertain the extent or the difference in development. Is it mostly pockets of Coimbatore or is it between the women or vulnerable sections? So once survey is done, I would do so. Secondly, the existing funds under Pradhan Mantri Disha, this digital literacy program and National Digital Literacy Mission, if some funds have not been given, I will try to channelize the existing schemes. Third, I will try to empower the common service centers to provide renting-based solutions or more impetus that way. Interestingly, self-help groups can also be involved, sir. Therefore, I feel that a collective community effort will be my priority for digital literacy.
I have seen from your extracurricular activity and other things that you have got a silver medal in Commonwealth essay writing.
Yes, sir.
So what is the subject of essay that you wrote?
So the topic was, in quote unquote, how enterprising said a voice as I closed the door behind me. So the task was to use this sentence in a short story or an essay, sir. And I had chosen to write a short story on a female crime investigator, sir.
Okay, so it was not on Commonwealth issues as such.
No, sir.
But what are the Commonwealth common issues? Like why it is Commonwealth? Why there are countries with this name? And how did it start? Can you give some idea?
Yes, sir. So as we know, the kingdom was called the place where sun never sets. So as the head of states remained the king or the queen, and they had a parliamentary system in Canada and Australia, they wished to retain connections with them through the Balfour Declaration, etc. And that is where the word Commonwealth comes. However, in the Balfour Declaration, the word British was removed, and to still retain connection with erstwhile democracies like India, Zimbabwe, they retained this institution. And the reason they remain in relevance today, first is because they talk about democracy and rule of law. The Commonwealth Games are also quite popular, and Commonwealth essay writing and such people-to-people connect are also quite in use.
So coming to essay writing once again. Today, Eshani, if you were in today's time, if you had written, you could have used Chat GPT to write the essay for you.
Yes, sir.
Do you think it's a good idea?
So generative AI would have eased my job because it would have crawled good stories already. But collectively writing the stories together and trying to bring forth loopholes in the story would be up to me, sir. So my creativity would not completely die, even though the AI has done some easier work for me, sir.
So that means one should not be scared of the advent of AI and Chat GPT. There are so much of scare being created that this is going to spoil the humanity, and maybe it could also affect the human rights. You think so?
So technology, whenever there is in quotes a disruptive force like this, there is always a worry. Are we trying to take away jobs? However, it has been called an AI co-worker today. If you are able to channelize the best of these technologies, it will always help us in our cultural appraisal of our current resources, sir. Therefore, as a computer science engineer, I feel that there is no worry also.
Eshani, last question. G20 finance ministers and central bank chairpersons have just met, and there was an issue about joint communique which is issued, and there were some divisions. Now, G20 foreign ministers meet is going to happen in the next 2 days. Are you aware of it?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, in the case of finance ministers meeting, when the thing came that war should be deleted, so it was rightly mentioned by China and Russia that this is an economic forum. Why are you bringing this? Now, day after tomorrow, when foreign ministers meet, and where Russia and US are represented by their foreign ministers also, now India will again have this dilemma, because the West will say you incorporate war. What should India do in that case?
In the foreign case, sir, the mini foreign.
Yes.
Sir, in the case of the economic meeting, India had to play a balancing game altogether. We are walking a tightrope between supporting the Eurasian side of China, Russia, and the Western side, sir. India, in my opinion, might talk more about dialogue and diplomacy rather than citing war as a specific issue even in the foreign summit. USA, in fact, has said that India being Indian by walking the tightrope has benefited the world. Therefore, it will be a middle ground based communique where war will not be the solution. We might espouse dialogue and diplomacy, and I feel India's tightrope balancing game will be approved in the coming meeting as well, sir.
I have a doubt that again joint communique will not be possible, and some other format will have to be used, because the West will not agree to not including the Ukraine conflict.
Yes, sir. It is a possibility, but India has stood its ground. It may leave out the war, for it is.
So you think this will be a blot on our G20 presidency, that all the time we are not able to get consensus in the final meetings?
Sir, I do not think it's a blot, sir, because we have stood our ground. Internationally, we have spoken about strategic autonomy. It has been endorsed in the Munich conference recently by the German Chancellor as well. So there has been some sort of acceptance of India's stance, because the countries can capitalize on India's closeness, sir. Therefore, I feel that it would not be a
Thank you,
major
Eshani. I pass on to Amit.
Thank you, sir.
So, Eshani, you had done computer science engineering.
Yes.
When you switch over to civil services, what will be your takeaways from this field to the new field?
So computer sciences first is based on algorithms. So the algorithm for a civil servant is based on code of conduct rules, constitution, and the legal proceedings, sir. So I will be looking at algorithms for my daily solutions. Secondly, computer science is logic oriented, sir. There is a philosophy, a logic. Therefore, I will apply multidimensional thinking and a logical approach to problem solving, sir. Computer science is not easy because coding can be a very challenging task. So the sense of perseverance and stoicism that I have learned through computer science would help me as an administrator, sir.
Mm-hmm. Anything connected with team leadership or something also is there in computer science? Which area of computer science is having this teamwork?
Right, yes, sir. Software development and agile methodologies. Computer science is a very collaborative subject requiring cybersecurity professionals, network administrators. So the team building of computer science will also help me in civil services, sir.
Good. automobile sector was suffering from shortage of semiconductors. Can you analyze this, that exactly was it semiconductor or something else, and why the shortage was there, and what are we doing about it?
It's specific to automobile sectors.
Automobile sector.
So around 2019 to 20, that was a time, especially post COVID-19, repressed demand of automobile and other instruments were also there. Therefore, chip manufacturing or chip shortage was felt. Pent-up demand and the requirement for laptops and other electronics also caused some of the supply chain to be diverted to that direction, sir. Therefore, semiconductor shortage was felt by the automobile industry. Today, India has the semiconductor mission. We have the Semicon India. We also have product-linked and design-linked incentives for these IT hardware and semiconductor industry, sir. So we're trying our best.
COVID is already over, as good as over. But other day also there was a statement by a giant manufacturer that they are still suffering from the shortage of semiconductors. So after such a long time, why we are not able to maintain the supplies?
So any economic disruption like COVID-19 may have caused a lag as well in supply chain resilience, which could be an issue. Moreover, 90% of the semiconductor industry is centered around Taiwan, and it's more localized, which is also an issue. And it is very expensive to set up semiconductors. So it is not an industry which can scale up very easily.
Okay. Tell me, suppose you become SP of some district. Then as SP of district, you look around and you think that you will carry out certain reforms in policing. Which are the reforms which you think can be done at your level without incurring large expenditure, and secondly, which are giving you good results and quick results?
So there are a few I can think of. First would be setting up something like an all-women's police station, which has been done in Tamil Nadu. A very novel, simple idea that all the police officers are women. So it allows women to come and give complaints without feeling hesitant. That may bring dividends, sir. Second,
there the problem is a bit different. I think what happened that if we have a women police station somewhere in my city, then the other police stations, if a lady comes, they say, don't come here. You go that women police station, which is say another 20 kilometers. So they are hesitating to take the complaint from the women at normal police stations. How do you resolve this issue?
That is, yes, sir, that could be a valid issue if we have specific all-women's police station. One would be sensitization of the men, of the male police officers, that if a female is coming for complaint, she has suffered a lot already, because there have been instances where people feel that the police may not be answerable to them. Therefore, sensitization is essential.
Sensitization
is most important.
Okay, next, what else?
So second, pink patrol can also be established in these police stations to transport the women if they need to go. If there is a very specific issue, that can be done. And third, a computerization can also be done, sir. So that complaints can be done by a male police officer, but it can be transferred to an all-women's police station, which may have specific knowledge of the IPC.
Are you aware of a product called CCTNS?
Yes, sir.
What it is all about?
CCTNS combines all the FIR reports and all the issues from all police stations into a central system.
Does it do exactly same thing which you are proposing?
It does a similar thing, sir. Yes, sir.
In Tamil Nadu, whether it is there, do you have any idea?
Sir, I do not know the specificity.
Okay, thank you. Yeah,
thank you so much.
Eshani, you're from Tamil Nadu.
Yes, sir.
Tamil Nadu, you find solar forest.
Yes, sir.
Solar forest and grasslands.
Yes, sir.
Where do you find them?
In the Western Ghats, sir, the Nilgiris.
Nilgiris. Are they important forests?
Yes, sir.
Why?
They are unique grasslands. They also allow local tribals for grazing, and so they're an essential part of the ecosystem, sir. Therefore, they are quite important, sir.
What are one or two important services they provide to people over there?
So I can think of perhaps forest produce collection can be a part of the same because it is usually laden amongst forests, and rejuvenation of wetlands and local climatic temperatures also can be controlled. So I feel like they have an essential part in the biodiversity.
And what are the threats to these solar forests in Tamil Nadu? Threats they are facing nowadays.
Sir, there have been changes in the rain patterns, especially in the Western Ghats, so that could be affecting them. Second, anthropogenic issues such as mining, quarrying are affecting the Western Ghats. So third, I think these are some of the major issues that are affecting the Shola forest.
Okay. Tamil Nadu, Eshani, there was a dispute about a month or 2 months back about Waqf property.
Waqf property?
Waqf property, no? Waqf claimed ownership over an entire village, including a temple. Have you heard that news?
I have not heard that.
You have not heard. The Waqf, they also, in Delhi also, 123 properties have been attached again by the urban ministry, which were Waqf properties. Have you heard about that news?
No,
No, you have not heard about it.
I apologize, sir. I will read
Okay,
on
no issue. Isani, tell me something about state formation. In India, we having 29 states, they have been formed basically on the linguistic basis actually. Linguistic basis they have been formed. But of late, some people say that this linguistic basis of state formation in India is causing gradually some fissures in the Indian polity. Indian polity, some fissures are growing due to this linguistic formation of states. Do you support this statement or do you don't agree with this statement?
Sir, I do not agree with the statement, sir, because linguistic and administrative and some other factors were also used for state formation. However, language is an essential part of India's unity in diversity, and there is an underlying Indianness which binds all of us. For example, the Kashi Tamil Sangamam between Uttar Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, although they are linguistic states, there is an integration of the two. So it is in some way to allay the fears of cultural anxiety, but I believe it has in fact bound us to an Indianness, sir.
Tamil Nadu, you have beaches also.
Yes, sir.
Sea beaches.
Yes.
What are important threats nowadays to those sea beaches? Something has been written on them.
So one of the issues I'm aware of is coastal erosion, which is affecting in our seas, and also unbridled tourism, which is also affecting the coasts, sir. And the issue of sand mining is also affecting the coastal beaches, sir.
So what will be your first few important intervention as an administrator if you are posted in such a district where there are 1 or 2 beaches over there? What you will do?
Sir, a proscriptive measure should be a crackdown on sand mafia, because that in turn is causing coastal erosion. That would be an immediate concern. Secondly, environmental social governance. We can adopt blue-green infrastructure like setting up forests, which will aid ecotourism and also protect the coral reefs. So it will be a 2-layered solution, sir.
Eshani, recently this geosynchronous satellite launch vehicle, GSLV, Mark III, it has been renamed as just geosynchronous word has been removed from there, isn't that? It has been just now called launch vehicle Mark III. Do you know why it has been removed? Geosynchronous word has been removed from the title of that satellite launcher.
Sir, I do not know the exact reason, sir. I can only guess that it is going to be used for many more purposes apart from geosynchronous.
Your guess is absolutely right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Eshani, we believe in neighborhood first policy, right? And most of our neighbors right now are going through economic crisis, financial crisis. So what is our policy towards Pakistan? We are helping Sri Lanka in a big way, but not so much to Pakistan. So what is the reason for this contradiction vis-a-vis our neighborhood first policy? And what future do you see between of India and Pakistan?
Ma'am, the neighborhood first policy is a non-reciprocal approach or a lending hand we give to our neighborhood. In the case of Sri Lanka, we are also wary of the Chinese intrusion into our neighborhood, which is a concern. But in the case of Pakistan, it also allows cross-border terrorism, which is one of the major causes we do not want to support. Moreover, it is an intrinsic issue and structural reforms can come only from within Pakistan. Therefore, any bailout from our end will not be the right solution also.
Correct. Rupee is depreciating in a big way. Today also it has gone down by 24 paisa, vis-a-vis dollar. So what is the reason for this depreciation of rupee and how is it going to impact, how is it impacting Indian economy?
Ma'am, one of the reasons I can think of is a synchronized monetary tightening policy that started from America, then all the banks started to do it. Therefore, it has allowed the investors to take dollars out of the countries that they've invested in and to go back to America. So one of the major reasons could be that this is why rupee is depreciating. It is aiding exports, but it may cause import-induced inflation, ma'am. That is a major cause of the rupee issue.
And how is it going to impact Indian economy?
In the short term. It could
lead long term also, because we have envisaged a future which is very bright, $5 trillion economy by 2047 and leading position in world economic sphere. So how is it going to impact our targets?
Imported inflation will be an issue. It will affect our manufacturing sector. Second, India will not appear very lucrative for the international investors or FDI because they may not be able to get dividends. And this will affect our ideas of Atmanirbhar Bharat and wanting to make in India. However, my reading tells me that India is not, it is not as bad for India as it is for other countries. Therefore, we may be able to bounce back.
Mm-hmm. You've written in your DAF that you are learning about how do you pronounce it? Stoicism.
Stoicism.
Yeah. So, why did you feel the need of learning this, and how is it going to help you in your civil services, work, administrative work?
And Stoicism is a philosophy that gives emotional resilience and stamina to persevere in turbulent times. Even a child who's learning to walk feels that task is very difficult. From a computer science engineer as well, I needed a lot of perseverance to make sure I complete my code. So I realized that I was being a stoic without knowing the philosophy already. Therefore, I thought to complete my wisdom of the same by learning more about the philosophy. Interestingly, it is also very similar to Sthiti Pragya and Karam Yogi philosophy, which will help me a lot in my civil services. Therefore, I feel that I can do good duty for the people, be a good leader, and of course, the pressures of the job are quite high. So it will not dissuade me or create cynicism if I have to do my duty.
Have you noticed that urban unemployment figures are really, really not very comfortable? For last 15 months, it's going down, Unemployment is increasing in the urban sector especially. So you are posted in the Labour Ministry and your senior officer tells you to suggest some out-of-the-box ideas to deal with this issue. So what do you think will you be able to suggest or propose?
Hand-holding or marketing that I can give for urban MSMEs which are being dwarfed, they're not able to have employability. I can give them marketing assistance, perhaps tie up with IIMs or local MBA institutes so that they can market their products. Secondly, I can allow one district, one product like solution. So one award, one product like solution can be done from urban sectors by channelizing stakeholders such as women or weavers or artisans who are a part of the same. And third, construction can be channelized because it is a field that employs a lot of labor. I may also put in a word with my seniors about an urban guarantee policy for urban areas. These would be some things that I can think of now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So, Eshani, you have been to Spain in student exchange program.
Yes, sir.
So, can you tell about the relationship between India and Spain and also the trade relations between both the countries?
Sir, I do not know in specific of Spain, sir. As a part of the European Union, I'm more aware of that, sir.
Okay, so can you compare Spain and India on the basis of its society?
Yes, sir. Differences stem from family, marriage and kinship levels, sir, because they are more individualistic. Parents have a lesser say in marital partners, whereas here we have predominantly arranged marriage system. We're a collectivistic, culture-oriented society. Second, the language and the script is very different, sir. India has a plethora of Dravidian Indo-European languages, whereas Spanish is a Indo-European language. So in terms of language and culture, it is quite different, sir.
Okay. I see your optional is anthropology,
Yes, sir.
right? Okay. So there is an issue of identity crisis among tribals. Are you aware? They do not have any identity. Do you agree or not?
So the issue of tribal identity, first in our country, it is a legal administrative term. It is scheduled tribes as per the article it is given. Whereas in anthropology, the definition of a tribe is a political organization which has multiple bands and clans with political organizations. Moreover, any person identifies himself or herself with a culture and the language and the religion he or she is a part of. In certain scenarios, when tribes have been displaced from their area, then they feel that there has been an ethnocide of their culture. And that could allow a tribal identity and paralysis, wherein they're moved to a completely alien urban system, sir.
Okay. Name 5 tribal leaders from India.
So I will try to enumerate them, sir. First, Tulsi Gowda. She is a tribal lady who had got the Padma Shri recently for planting forests. And Birsa Munda was also an essential freedom fighter. And the polygars, Oman, Durai, Elsa, they were also part of the tribals in South India. And others are unable to name.
Yeah, President of India.
Yes, sir, Honorable
Okay.
President.
Okay. Anyways, okay. Why do you wish to join civil services?
Sir, I feel that my latent learning and socialization throughout my childhood, my personality developed an other regarding attitude, and my logic was satiated through maths and computer sciences, sir. So when I thought of a job that was able to marry my other regarding attitude with logic-oriented approach, I thought civil services would fit my personality the best, sir.
Okay, you are a computer science engineer.
Yes.
Can you tell me 3 ethical issues involved in IT industry?
In the IT industry.
IT.
So moonlighting is now emerging as an ethical issue, working in 2 different firms. Second, in the AI sector, there is an issue called artificial stupidity, wherein the code is not well made and the AI system produces 2 different results when given the same input. And third is a sense of consciousness or sentientness that any coder should be careful of before producing a code, sir. I think these are some of the issues.
Okay, thank you, Eshani. I pass on to Chairman, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So, Eshani, we have covered a lot of area from your DAF. If you still think that something has been left out by us and we did not ask a question from any of the DAF areas, then please let me know. I can ask the last question.
No, sir. Thank you for the opportunity, sir.
So, thank you, Eshani. We finish our interview now. You will proceed to the next room for some time. We'll call you again.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Please sit down.
Thank you, sir.
So, Shani, first we'd like to hear you how you think you have done today.
Sir, I gave my best, sir. But I wish I had done the Shola part of my interview a bit better. I should research more about a very basic part of my state. And we'll try to find more dimensional perspectives of all that I've discussed today, sir. I feel like I always do.
And I wish you had smiled during the interview also the way you are doing now. Why did you look so serious? You were trying to extract as much as you can and
Perhaps, yes.
deliver, yes. So bring some easiness in your communication. That is a point which we found, and you must work on that.
Yes.
A little bit of smile, maybe while expecting the question, you can just smiling disposition, and you looked, as if you're waiting for what is the next question, and scared of the next question. You answered everything perfectly.
Yes, sir.
But
Thank you,
there was some kind of irrational fear that let's see what is going to be the next one. Bring some ease in handling the questions.
Yes, sir.
And you are competent for that. You have got all your knowledge is very intense, very deep, and you can articulate. You can speak very well. Your communication is excellent. There is no reason why you should be serious. Make it more like a conversation.
Yes.
Rest was fine. We didn't find anything else in your entire profile, except that when the last answer that you gave, you used the word job. Don't use the word job for the civil services.
Yes, sir.
It is a career.
Yes.
Even Prime Minister recently mentioned, he was addressing some people, bureaucrats. So he says, it is a service. You are not in a private sector that you are a job.
Yes.
So avoid that.
Yes.
Okay. And you can also avoid, while you mentioned that my temperament, my this is suited more for this. It is not that you are claiming that I am suitable and so you take me. It is that you want to go there. And if they find you suitable, they will take you.
Yes.
So instead of projecting yourself, project the service.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Because presently your attraction is towards the civil service. Why civil services? Now, some people may say, oh, because I am this, I am good, I am, I am a leader, born leader. So that is what they are testing, whether you are a born leader or not.
Yes.
Unless they ask you what are your qualities which you think you will use as a good civil servant or which makes you, eligible or competent for civil services, then you can come out.
Yes.
Sir, I have this. But without such prompting, there's no need to glorify yourself.
Yes.
All right?
I agree.
So, isko thoda sa theek kar lena. Baki everything is fine. Yes, please.
So, Eshani, ऐसा है कि occasionally it appears that you have stitched up your answers. Stitched up answer means that you had prepared it earlier and you're just reading it out. Not in a conversation mode, but in the way I would say ChatGPT is typing the answers. So that should not be the way.
Yes, sir.
It should be in a conversation mode, natural conversation mode, even if you have everything at the back of your mind. And that was very visible when you gave reply of civil services. Why civil services? Because question was tuned somewhere else. The reply came more or less okay, but because it was tuned at your own brain in some different fashion, that's how it came out. So let it be a natural outcome, even if all the answers are with you. Okay? And don't be under any stress. I would say the environment will be so congenial to you that you will be able to give your best. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So just before आप शुरू करें, एक point in addition to, now one of the tests of conversation, a good conversation is that you are basically thinking on the spot and speaking. जैसे आपने कहा ना कि ऐसा लग रहा है जैसे वो ना भी हो तो एक्टिंग आप ऐसी करो कि सोच के बोल रही हो. You have the पूरे पीछे से फ्लो पूरा है आपका. Give pauses as if you're thinking and speaking.
Pauses is a problem.
So the moment you think and speak, show that you are thinking and speaking, it becomes a conversation.
Yes, sir. I can work on this.
इसको आप try करना. Sorry.
Sir. Eshani, you are a very good candidate. You've done well, answered very nicely, all questions properly. But as you rightly told, solar forest is a very important component of your Tamil Nadu. Nilgiri, Uti and all that areas, no? So, I'll just give you read about it, but two important things for solar forest. They are endemic to many flora and animals, many plants and animals. They are endemic. And number two, they are important water source to entire Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve and the plain areas. They are a water source. Okay? They act like a sponge type of thing. They retain water and then the water flows down. Okay? So this is important. And agriculture and tree plantation are two important areas which are important threats to this thing. Okay, this is one thing. And regarding some acts, controversial act, you please go through whether it is a work property, whether places of worship act. You may be asked question on that,
Yes, sir.
because it originated from Tamil Nadu only. The work issue started from Tamil Nadu.
Yes, sir.
So read something about that also.
Shirur Mat case. And
The entire village, they claimed over the mandir also, which was for 2000-year-old or something like that, but whatever it may be.
yes, sir.
So overall, you are a very good candidate. You know the things. You can articulate. Your communication is very good. Only thing is that only 2 or 3 things. Biodiversity issue, Nilgiri,
Yes.
Silent Valley Park
Yes, sir. Yes.
is very important. Silent Valley Park. You may be asked why it is called silent and all that.
Yes.
So go through it and you will do well.
Thank you so much.
Right?
Thank
All
you
the
so
best.
much. Thank you.
Ishani, as everybody said, you are really, really very good. But for your face, you look shocked, stunned, and surprised.
I'm doing the
You
interview
really
now.
looked. I really do not know what to say. For some time, I thought maybe you are using contact lenses or what. But are you?
Yes, ma'am.
So I can make it out. So that
Okay.
I really do not know what to say. You are using. You feel comfortable. It's okay. But you look as if you are totally taken aback. You are surprised. You don't know what to do. And you are so good. I can't tell you. You are so articulate. Your command over language is so good. So just think about it. What
Yes.
can be done? I
I'll
really
see the
know.
videos and then I'll know.
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
Especially from the eyes, you just have a look and decide yourself what is
I
to be
will,
done.
I will, yes.
Are you using spectacles also? Glasses?
Yes,
No?
ma'am.
So see if you feel more comfortable in that, you take a call yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay?
Thank you so much.
So, Ishani, I share the same opinion. Personality, communication, content, everything was very good. Just try to relax a bit. Just be at ease.
Yes.
So, the best way is whenever any panel member is asking question, smile. So, it will seem as if you are very receptive. And then take a pause of 3 to 4 seconds, as already advised, and then answer. In my civil service, I already, as sir already told you, rephrase your answer and avoid the term childhood also.
Yes, sir.
So avoid this term also.
Yes, sir.
Just speak on the virtues of civil services,
Yes.
as already guided by you.
Yes.
So I wish you all the best, and I'm sure you will do very well.
Thank you so much.
So, Shani, any questions from your side?
Nothing, sir.
Nothing?
Nothing.
So, we have given you 69%, Shani, today.
Thank you, sir.
190 marks.
So, and you deserve. You deserve more than this.
Hmm.
We deducted 1 mark for, you know what, for your not smiling and being at ease. Number 2, this is what we generally give here, quite matches what the UPSC does, and the marking has got, it's a relative marking also, relative comparison. Now, absolutely speaking, you may say, oh, it's too high, I don't believe it. But the fact is that when you interact with so many candidates, one after another, suppose somebody who has come before you has got 67%. So, Shani is much better than him. So, let us give her 2 more marks. This is how, even in the UPSC, it is decided like this. So, this is going to be your first UPSC interview.
Yes, sir.
You are doing very well for the first round, and practice more.
Yes.
And,
Smile.
Smile for a reason. I mean, don't smile just like that. Right occasion, you should pounce at the opportunity of smiling.
I understand.
The board is very cordial. They say they keep smiling and laughing. So, you may not join them for laughing, but you can also smile once in a while.
Yes. Sir.
All the best, Eshani.
Yes, sir. Thank you
All
so
the
much,
best.
ma'am.